Hey everybody, Jeff Knudsen again from Orange Park, Florida, the Red Sea Max guy. I'm going to do a little quick video tonight on feeding my anemones and a couple pieces of coral that I have in the tank, most specifically a Scolymia that I have. So I'm going to be right back with you. I'm going to turn the camera around and we'll see how this goes. Thanks. Okay, so we've got a few things laid out here. This little tray here is the food that I mix up out of 6 or 7 different kinds of various foods for the fish, and some of the reef coral eat that as well. What I've done is I've taken one of the little chunks out of there and dropped it into a glass of tank water that's filled up, maybe half full, and I also have a piece of boiled, deveined, and shelled shrimp that I'm going to pop in the microwave for about maybe 12-13 seconds. So I'm going to do that and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so I've unfrozen my shrimp, which as I mentioned, it's cooked, deveined, shelled shrimp. And you know, a lot of people say, well, you got to buy frozen or fresh shrimp or frozen uncooked shrimp. And guys, they'll eat it regardless. It doesn't matter. And the reason I like cooked shrimp is it stays together a little better than the frozen does when you thaw it out. So anyway, I've got that cut up into small pieces. And again, the size of the pieces is a little bit dependent upon how big of coral or how big of anemones you're feeding. What I've done is I've taken 2 bamboo skewers and taped them together in the middle. And I'm going to use that to feed the shrimp to the anemone and my Scolymia coral. And then of course I've got my mixture of fish food and coral food that I'm going to set up here on top of my tank. And again, this works out pretty well when you have the Red Sea Max, because when you flip the lid open, as you can see, you've got a nice little ledge there to set stuff on. So I'm going to stir that up. And it looks really yummy. Suck a bit of it up into the turkey baster that I'm using. And of course the fish, as you can see, know what's coming. So I'll give them a little bit. They've already eaten, so I'm not going to give them too much. And then you can see I've got a colony over here that I'm going to just spray a little bit across. And you'll see them start to close up when the food gets in there. And that's how I feed my colony coral. And some of the other coral will eat it as well. Some of the hammer and the frog spawn, etc., will eat this mixture as well. But I feed them after dark when they start getting their little feeler sweeper tentacles out. I forgot I usually shut my pumps off, and I forgot to do that, so I'm going to do that now. I shut my main pump and my skimmer off while I feed them, and I'll give them just a little bit more. As you can see, the colony of polyps is pretty much closed up. I'm going to give them just a little bit more. Sorry about the camera. It's hard to do this one-handed. Stir it up a little bit more. Get a little bit in here, and we'll spray a little bit more over that direction. Get out of their way, fish. You can tell that they enjoy eating this food as well. And as you can tell, most all of the colony and some of the acropora as well have closed up, or zoanthids, excuse me, I said acropora, I meant zoanthids, have closed up as well. Now I'm going to take a little bit more, and this isn't something you have to do every day. I do it maybe a couple of times a week, and I'm just going to spritz a little bit over all of my coral. Again, most of these coral are night feeders with feeder tentacle that come out, but you know, when they have raw food or fresh food that falls in their laps, they're not going to pass it up. So I'm going to give a little bit more down here to this guy, and some up here to this piece here, and a little over here to my friend in the corner, and we'll spray the rest of it in there for the tank to eat. Now I'm going to lay the turkey baster down here on the top of the Red Sea Max and go back over here to the shrimp. Now, depending again on the size of the coral or the anemone you're feeding, will be dependent upon what size of shrimp you use. And normally I do this two-handed, so I'm doing the best I can. But stick this in the tank. The fish don't go for this too much. And I give it right down here to my friend, the bubble tip anemone, and you can see him wrap up around it. I'm hoping I don't have it stuck on there, and there he goes. And you don't have to jam it in their mouth. In fact, don't jam it in their mouth. You'll do more damage to them that way than you will just sticking it in their tentacles and letting them take care of it themselves. I'm going to take a little bit smaller piece, maybe. There it is. And I'm going to stick it on the edge of this Scolymia, and you'll see his tentacles, or his teeth, kind of grab a hold of it. There he goes. And in a minute, I'll go back to him and he'll start taking that in the direction of his mouth. And now I'm going to feed my favorite friend, my purple tip sea bay anemone. There's a piece right there going down. And watch what happens here. And he's closing up around it and moving it in towards his mouth. Now, if you have clowns, and depending upon the size of your anemones, they're feisty little buggers. That's why they're called clownfish. And depending on the strength of your anemones, your clowns will take the food away from them. Don't ask me why. It's not because they hate them. They spend most of their time in them. And that one's stuck on there a little more than I wanted it to be. And you can see him starting to go grab that piece of shrimp. So we're going to give one more piece to the Scolymia and one more piece to the sea bay anemone. And we'll do that right now. And there it goes. And you can see he's closing up around it. A lot of things you read say you don't have to feed your anemones, and I disagree. I feed mine about that amount a couple of times or more a week. Well, probably 2, maybe 3 times a week. I'm going to cut this piece of shrimp up just a little bit more and try not to kill myself doing it. And we'll give some more of that to the Scolymia. Actually, it's called Scolymia. But anyway, try not to make too much of a mess here. There we go. Like I said, this is much easier to do two-handed. Sorry for the fingers. Yeah, there we go. And you can see he's already moved towards his mouth with that other piece. You can't hardly see it. I'll try to put this back here. Where my friends, the fish, don't get in the way. There he goes. And I'm going to turn the camera off for just a moment and come back on and show you how it'll take him a minute or two to get that closer to his mouth. Sorry again for the camera work here, folks, but it is what it is. I'll be right back to you. Alright, it's been just a couple minutes and you can see that the Scolymia has already taken the piece of shrimp and is shoving it in his mouth, which is pretty cool. Once he gets that one in there, that other side will start moving closer and closer and he'll take that other piece in. The anemones, as you can see, there are no traces of that shrimp anywhere on either one of them, and the polyps as well as the zoos are already opened back up. It's been a matter of maybe 3 to 5 minutes at the most, 2 minutes probably 3, since I squirted some shrimp and mysis and brine and etc. on them. So that's just a real quick way to give your corals a little something during the day. And again, I do target them at night, and my next video will be about that. So again, this is Jeff Knudsen from Orange Park, Florida, the Red Sea Max guy. We're over 4,000 viewers on my channel. I really appreciate everybody watching and hopefully enjoying my videos as much as I've enjoyed doing them. We'll see you next time. I was getting ready to render this video and thought I'd take one last shot of the Scolymia eating from the other direction. So there you go. Thanks again.